The blizzard came without mercy, swallowing the small town of North Ridge, Montana in a wall of white. Snow howled like a living thing, rattling windows, burying cars, and erasing roads that once felt safe and familiar. By nightfall, temperatures plunged below zero, and the town's siren warned everyone to stay indoors. Everyone except Emily Carter. Emily tightened her coat around her children, Noah 9 and Lily 6, as they stood near the frozen bus stop. Her husband, Mark Carter, had been a truck driver. 2 months earlier, a highway accident during a storm just like this one had taken his life. Since then, Emily's world had been held together by fragile hope and overdue bills. Tonight, hope was slipping. Their power had gone out hours ago. The heater failed. The landlord hadn't answered her calls. With no choice left, Emily decided to take her children to the emergency shelter set up at the old high school, 3 miles away. She thought they could make it if they kept moving. But the storm was stronger than she imagined. The wind knocked Emily to her knees, sending snow into her eyes and freezing her lashes together. Lily began to cry, her small hands numb despite the gloves. Noah tried to be brave, but his lips had turned blue. Emily felt fear coil in her chest, the kind that makes it hard to breathe. That's when a shadow appeared through the swirling white. A tall man emerged, steady against the storm, moving with purpose. He wore a heavy parka, snow caked on his beard, eyes sharp and alert. He stopped a few feet away, scanning the scene like he was assessing a battlefield. "Ma'am," he said firmly but calmly, "you can't be out here." Emily hesitated. Strangers weren't always safe. But something about his voice, controlled, protective, cut through her fear. "I don't have a choice," she replied, pulling her kids closer. "We'll freeze if we go back." The man looked at the children, then back at Emily. His jaw tightened. "My name's Jack Turner," he said. "I'm former Navy SEAL, and you're not making it another half mile in this." Emily swallowed. "Then what do we do?" Jack turned, pointing into the storm where a faint light flickered between the trees. "You come with me." "No," Emily said instinctively, fear flaring. "I don't." Jack met her eyes, unwavering. "I've survived worse than this. I know how storms think, trust me." Another gust of wind slammed into them, nearly knocking Noah over. Jack caught the boy effortlessly, lifting him as if he weighed nothing. That was the moment Emily decided, not because she trusted the man, but because she trusted the way he protected her child without hesitation. "Okay," she whispered, "we'll come." Jack nodded once. "Stay close, step where I step, and no matter what you hear, don't stop." As they followed him into the blinding storm, Emily had no idea where he was taking them, or how much this single decision was about to change all of their lives. Jack led them through the storm with quiet precision, breaking trail through snow that reached his knees. Every few steps, he checked over his shoulder, making sure Emily and the children were still there. The wind screamed, but Jack moved like he'd done this 100 times before, because, in a way, he had. The faint light he'd pointed to grew brighter as they pushed forward. It came from a small log cabin, half buried in snow, tucked deep in the trees. Jack forced the door open with his shoulder, ushering them inside before the cold could follow. The warmth hit them instantly. A wood stove crackled in the corner, its fire still alive. Jack shut the door tight, sealing out the blizzard. Emily collapsed onto a chair, pulling Lily into her arms, tears finally spilling free. Noah stood near the stove, holding out his frozen hands, eyes wide with relief. "You're safe," Jack said quietly, "for now." Emily looked up at him, her voice shaking. "Whose place is this?" "Mine," Jack replied. "I live off-grid. Storms like this cut the town off for days." He moved quickly, wrapping the kids in thick blankets, handing them hot cocoa from a thermos he'd prepared earlier. His actions were automatic, practiced. Emily noticed the scars on his hands, the careful way he positioned the children away from drafts. "You do this a lot," she said softly. Jack paused. I used to, overseas, rescuing people who didn't expect to survive the night. As the children warmed, Lily fell asleep against Emily's chest. Noah leaned back, finally relaxing. The storm raged outside, but inside the cabin, time seemed to slow. Emily told Jack about Mark, about the accident, about how everything since then felt like one long winter she couldn't escape. Jack listened without interrupting, his eyes fixed on the fire. "I lost my team," he said after a long silence. 8 years ago. I walked away from the Navy after that, thought I didn't deserve a normal life." Emily looked at him. "But you saved us." Jack shook his head. "I just did what I was trained to do." The storm lasted 2 days. When the roads finally cleared, Jack drove them back to town in his old pickup. But the story didn't end there. Word spread quickly in North Ridge, about the widow and her children found alive in the woods, about the former Navy SEAL who refused to let them freeze. Neighbors showed up with food, clothes, and job offers. The landlord apologized. A local contractor offered Emily steady work. The town organized support without being asked. Before they parted ways, Noah ran up to Jack and hugged him tight. "You're a hero," he said. Jack knelt down, meeting the boy's eyes. "No," he replied gently. "I just didn't walk away." Emily held Jack's hand, gratitude filling her chest. "You gave us more than shelter," she said. "You gave us a future." Jack watched them go, the weight on his chest lighter than it had been in years. For the first time since leaving the service, he understood something clearly. Saving that family didn't just change their lives. It saved his too.